Let me raise my desk. I like to stand when I do the ambassador training. Makes me feel more agile. Happy Monday morning. I know everyone's coming in here, starting to join with us. I hope everyone had a blessed weekend. I know that we have a couple individuals. Let me look at my list. We had a couple individuals that we were going to do the lectin patent information, and we were going to go over some of the ways to market that. So I figured I'd give you a quick little update. Obviously, for those of you who tuned in, hello, Christina Barlow. Um, I know that some of you tuned in, and obviously the fashion show last week was a huge success for us. We're still getting the amount of how much money was raised, but the amount of engagement and impressions that were made are quite significant. So hopefully you guys are seeing that and are repurposing that and reusing that. We made it a very strong mission of ours to not only have ISNS, ROM Foundation, the Root Brands, Mercy Dupree, DRC Ventures, really as the forefront of the topic. I think we learned very well, and I was just sharing this we had a leadership call earlier. I was just sharing this with them, is that we learned very significantly that we needed to put a better spotlight on all of the brands under DRC Ventures, primarily Root, Bill and Coo. I think I didn't share that, but those were main sponsors of each portion and segments of the fashion show, which was incredible. So keep a lookout for more content to come, whether it's highlight reels. We had a really good day of podcasts. We were giving out samples of Zero In, which was fun during the fashion show to see everybody taking Zero In during it. So a really, really, really great event that I think went very well. So today's the ambassador call day. Happy Monday, ambassadors. I know that I had a few of you from last week. If you will, raise your hand if you're here, that we're doing some researches on patents. I think I have a video. I see you there, Claire. I have a video also from Dr. Fadwa. She's not able to make it, but she put something out that we can. Let's see if I can show this. We'll do this to start. I'm going to pause that. Hi, Christy. Hey, Sarah. Thank you for raising your hand and making my life easier. And we can really get into some ways about how we are going. There we go. There's everyone. Hey, Anne, how are you? So we can get into some really unique ways about, proper methods to share and promote the patents that are structured, and I would say very broadly, about the products. Let's take, for example, the lectin patent, right? Or the substrate patent, or the semi-permeable. These patents align with most, if not all, and some of our formulations that Dr. Rum has created. And so the reason why we're doing these calls is, one, we're arming you, we're preparing you, we're giving you more ammo, if you will, that's how we say it in America, to help yourself market the products in a different light. And that's why you'll see on the Root website, and hopefully everyone has gone to the website, and you see the link that brings you to DRC patents, and then DRC patents brings you to the USPTO. Dylan, correct me here. I'm gonna look for you. I think it's the USPTO, the trademark office, where the actual patent has been either pended, filed, or is approved. And so I know that we talked about this quite extensively on last week's Root U, which we will, or not last week's, 2 weeks ago's Root U, is that a lot of this information and a lot of these patents were filed years and years and years ago. And so not only does this take a tremendous amount of time, and it's quite funny when we find out here in the office when we get an approval. Dr. Ram is like, oh my gosh, we got approval for this. I never thought we would have gotten this. And, we're getting approved for these. So there are many more of these to come. And obviously, we're going to announce it to the community anytime that we get a new patent that might have been approved. I know that like, for example, Dr. Ram was talking about the, I believe, autism and ADHD that she was filing on, that she has talked about in prior weeks. So again, the reason for these calls is to really help formulate you to have a good plan to look at a Christy, a Claire, an Anne, a Sarah, a Dr. Fadwa, and the different ways that they're taking the data and then sharing it with their community, with the world, with their social media. And that's really why these calls are super beneficial, because there's no right or wrong way to do it, right? I think last week, Nurse Christy gave an example and I shared Claire's presentation. And there were two very, very different examples of how they would extract the data and then put it in their own words and then maybe do like a presentation. So we are here as a vessel to promote the ambassadors, to maybe give you different ideas that are going to trigger a thought or a different way to market the patents. We always talk about these little pod groups, right? Reaching out to other individuals that are on this call. There's 74 humans that are on this call right now. So reaching out and saying, hey, do you mind meeting once a week so that we can help, come up with some unique ways that might work for you, that might not work for me, and vice versa, so that you guys are pushing each other to hold each other accountable. Because in this world of being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, if you will, is very lonely sometimes. There's not really a whole lot of individuals that you can reach out to that are doing something that's very aligned with what you are doing. And so this is really where we want to make sure that we're supporting you. And we are really giving you the tools in your toolbox so that you can utilize them. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to share here. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see if I can increase this. No, it's not going to let me. Oh yeah, well, look at that. Haha. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me bink.
Root Brands Ambassador. I just posted 2 stories of Dr. Christina Ram. She's a bioscience engineer, one of 20 nanotechnology specialists in the world. And her first story that I posted was her describing a grant of using dandelion plants for tires. And then I posted how she has a patent, and she's one of less than 7% of women who achieve patents worldwide. And she has so far 7, and many more are getting approved very soon. I have for you here her most recent patent of her product. You can DM me and find out more about the product, and you can look up the patent yourself. But she was able to take clinoptilite, a raw zeolite from nature, fracture it. You see here, she got a fracturing invention, US patent invention that no one else has created but her, to be able to fracture it and use it to remove toxins from the body. And she also got approved to be able to get it attached to minerals and vitamins. So she can deliver things for like a sleep aid or your B complexes or your vitamin C and your zincs and things like that. It is quite impressive. This is how biohacking is done. Hey there, Dr. Fado Galanders, Doctor of Clinical Pharmacy and a Root Brands Ambassador.
So I let it play just so you can see a little bit of the beginning, because I missed that part because I was muted. So again, thank you for the hand clap, Sarah. That was a phenomenal way in which how she took, and now granted, she focused on the clinoptilolite and was explaining. Now, asterisk, caveat, Dr. Ram is an ambassador in the United States. Dr. Ram has gosh, or excuse me, Dr. Fadwa. I just said Dr. Ram. Dr. Fadwa has a PharmD education. She also put on the post that she's not making any medical claims. She has the ability to discuss and talk about the clinoptilolite patent and its correlation to clean slate. Primarily, one, the country that she is in doesn't have raw stipulations around that. And two, she has the ability to say that as a PharmD, right? She can speak effectively of talking to that. I would probably say the same is aligned with Nurse Christie, who has a medical education, and also Dr. Ann, who also has a medical education. That being said, that is an example. Now, do I think Alfred or Regina or Roland in Germany can do a post like that? No, I don't. And that's something that needs to be cautious of. And so that's why really these last 2 weeks we focused on the lectin and I can't remember what the semipermeable and permeable, I think, is the other one. So again, an example of us to show and really keep you aligned on how this can be done. I love that she did the sharing screen so that it's behind her. I think that's very engaging. I feel like everyone on this call that does social media or Zoom should be engaging one with their community, because you can still see me and I can kind of do some fun. I make it quirky here when we're doing ambassador calls, but you can point to it and be like, look at this patent behind me. This is crazy. I love that type of aspect of training and education and information filled videos. It keeps me more engaged. I'm talking about me personally, and it makes me want to see what they're talking about. And so I would suggest and promote for you guys, whether it's a TikTok or an Instagram, or even just filming a webinar here on a Zoom where you can do that. It's a simple, if you upgrade your Zoom account, not upgrade your Zoom account, but upgrade your software of Zoom. They have that new capabilities of doing a share. These are all tools that you guys can use. So I'm going to shut up because I've been talking for 10 minutes and I want to make sure that we get to everyone on the call. So Nurse Christie, you're first on my screen. Would you like to share?
Sure, I can go first. I have a PowerPoint. I didn't do a video.
Hey,
It's okay if I share screen?
share screen away.
Okay, I've never done this, so.
What are you talking about? We did it last week or 2 weeks ago.
I didn't share screen.
You talked a lot about it though.
I know I did. Um,
Also, I see Dylan in the comments, so thank you,
I'm
Dylan, for answering those questions. If you do have questions, Dylan's paying attention to the chat feed, so please ask away if you don't want to raise your hand and ask.
Hey, real quick too, I put the link to the drcpatents.com website in the chat. If we keep getting a lot of comments, I'll keep putting that in there so everyone has one. But just to reiterate what Patrick said, almost every product, I believe, has the patent link on the PDP site. You just scroll down past like the links for everything.
Yep.
And it should be right there.
Thank you, Dylan. Nurse Christie, where'd you go?
here.
Oh, there you are. Share your screen, share away.
I'm here.
Let's try and
All
keep it in 5 to 7 minutes so we can get everyone that has their hand raised. And also, everyone, keep your hand raised so I can remember where you're at.
Okay, do you see it sharing?
I do not. Now we're getting it. Let's see.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. I'm gonna skip the medical disclaimer because I put it in there for the heck of it.
We all family here.
We all know. So what I'm going to go over is the lectin detoxification. Excuse me, detoxification method summary, the introduction, what are lectins, background of this invention, summary of lectin patent and root products pertaining to the lectin. So First, let me talk about lectins. Lectins are special proteins that you can find in many plants like seeds, leaves, roots, and fruits. They have the ability to stick to certain sugars in these plants, but they can also let go and stick again. Lectins are in a lot of the foods we eat, especially grains and beans. While these foods are generally healthy to many, lectins can actually block our bodies from getting the nutrients we need for food. That is why it's important to either cook or process these foods, which helps reduce the lectins and make them safer to consume. Just an FYI real quick, this is not a long presentation, but it is at the average person's level. So hopefully people will be able to pull from this, where Dr. Rom's presentation might have been a little bit more complex. So I'll try to keep it concise. Okay, so scientists have studied how safe it is to eat foods with a lot of lectins, especially when they're not fully cooked. It's important to know how much is safe because too many lectins can cause problems, like making it harder for our body to absorb nutrients. Now let's look at how we can remove lectins. This method uses a special water-based process to separate and remove lectins from plants like seeds, fruits, and vegetables. This process not only removes the harmful parts of it, also keeps the good nutrients intact, making the supplements both safer and healthier. Let's dive into the background of the lectin detoxification method. This will help us understand why the method is important and how it works, and help us market the products. Okay, this is a slide that Dr. Christina Rom presented last week. I'm going to break it down a little bit. What are
Where did you get that
lectins?
from, Christy? Where did you
Sorry?
get that from?
From the
I-
root U.
Yeah, but did you screenshot that? I want everyone to know what you did to attain that.
I received an email from Science. I
Great.
reached out, but they
So
are.
just
I
so everyone's aware, Nurse Christy reached out to science@therootbrands.com and probably asked for this particular slide. So some of you also do a really good job during the Root U call. And I'm sorry I'm interrupting. I just want to make sure that everyone, knows the methods and the ways in which what you're utilizing to garner this information. So some of you screenshot it during the Zoom call. Nurse Christy actually reached out to our science@therootbrands.com to attain that slide. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine. Okay, so what are lectins? And I'm going to tell you guys how I got all this a little bit off track, since Patrick took me off track a little bit. In the Now site, you have this handy tool, if you upgrade, that is called Chat GPT. You can take information, you can plug it in, and you can dummy it down, or you can make it sound more scholarly, whichever you need to do. So that's a tool that we all have. So I use it because most people don't understand what Dr. Rom says because of her level of education. So it's a very complex subject. So I'm going to break down this lectin detoxification method, okay? So what are lectins? Lectins are proteins that can stick to certain sugars in plants, like those found in the seeds, leaves, bark, roots, and fruits. They attach to these sugars in a very specific way, but they can also let go and reattach. Lectins in our food. Lectins are found in many foods like grains and beans, which are generally good for us. But when there are too many lectins, they can be bad because they block the body from absorbing important nutrients. This happens because lectins can damage the lining of the intestines, making it harder for the body to use the nutrients in food. To make lectins less harmful, people often cook or process foods that contain them. Lectins and food safety. A study was conducted to find out how safe it is to eat lectins, especially when foods like beans, seeds, or vegetables are not fully cooked or processed or contain chemicals, like so many of us experience. It's important to know how much of these foods are safe to consume because too many lectins can cause problems. How to remove lectins. This method is a special water-based system to separate lectins from plants, roots, fruits, vegetables, oils, and seeds. This system can also be used to clean and purify other proteins and useful molecules from these plants. In summary, this method helps remove harmful lectins from the ingredients while keeping the healthy parts. It's a great way to improve the safety and nutritional value of each product where this method is used. And now that we've covered what lectins are and why it's important to remove them, let's talk about how the lectin detoxification method actually works. I'll walk you through the key steps in the process in simple terms. Okay, so the summary of the invention, using a special gel. The first step in this method is using a special gel to help separate lectins from other parts of the plant. This process involves heating and cooling the mixture at different times to make sure that the lectins are properly separated, making lectins healthier. This method then focuses on making lectins healthier by removing any harmful substances from the seeds and other plants. To do this, the method uses a mixture of a few chemicals and a small amount of plant extract. Washing the lectins. Next, the method collects the lectins and proteins and then washes them with clean water to get rid of any remaining impurities. Checking blood clumping. An important part of this process is checking if the lectins cause blood cells to clump together. This is done using special plates, and it helps ensure that the lectins are safe to use. Testing how lectins stick together. This method also tests how well the lectins stick to different types of sugars. This helps scientists understand the properties of the lectin better. Final washing. After these tests, the lectins are washed again in a special solution until they stop causing blood cells to clump together. This final wash makes sure the lectins are safe. Stimulating digestion. Lastly, the method creates a fake stomach fluid and mixes it with lectins in warm water. This step is done to see how the lectins would break down during digestion in the human body. And the abstract, this method describes in this invention is designed to isolate, purify, and analyze lectins from a variety of sources such as seeds, roots, bark, leaves, tubers, plants, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and oils. This process helps in understanding the lectins' properties and effects on various products. It removes the harmful aspects of lectins while preserving the beneficial nutritional properties, including its antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial activities. Additionally, it maintains the lectin's important physiological functions, such as its insecticidal, antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-HIV, anti-tumor, and pain relief aspects. The invention uses a specialized two-step magnetic aqueous solution and fractionated fraction to detoxify lectins while safeguarding its valuable benefits, including its nutritional, antiviral, anti-tumor, analgesic, insecticidal, and immune supporting properties. And some of the root brand products that use this patent here. In conclusion, this lectin detoxification method is all about making sure that the supplements we consume are safe for full of nutrition while getting rid of the harmful parts of the lectins. It's an important step in improving the quality of our supplements. Crush, Relive Greens, Restore, and Anti-Greens are some of examples of root brand products where the lectin detoxification process is used in the formula. According to Dr. Ram, certain steps of the lectin process were used in almost every root brand product. And that's it.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I don't know how to end my
take over.
Okay, good. So I broke that down so people hopefully can take those examples and apply it to their own, whether it's Restore, whether it's the pet line. Hopefully that helps people have a better understanding of the patent so that they can, they're better equipped to market for their own needs, whatever their goals are.
Great. Sarah, you are next on my screen. How are you?
Good morning to you. It's evening here in Germany.
Good evening. Well, it's actually good afternoon, but
I'm fine. I'm not sure. Can I share my screen?
Of course.
Let me test that. So where is that? Yes. I have prepared some screens.
I love that.
Can you see my screen?
We can.
properly? Oh, good. So basically, I had tried to reach you before the last ambassador call. So it's not just about the lectin patterns. I just want to share some ideas. And I'm not a graphic designer. It's just about sharing the ideas, okay?
I completely agree. About sharing, not that you're not a graphic designer.
So one of my ideas was to put together something like an infographic, picture with nice looking ingredients, lemons, and we say nature and biotechnology give this product.
Awesome.
In some infographic or something. So the main idea is also to use pictures or video or infographics like you can see on YouTube with what's the English name? Matchstick Mans or stuff like that, you know, like happy things and processes and show it with pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did with this idea, like putting things together. Of course, it can be more beautiful in my opinion. But that's basically the idea I wanted to share. And regarding the lectin patent, I also have something for you. So there's an English book, The Plant Paradox, The Hidden Dangers in Healthy Foods That Cause Disease and Weight Gain. And actually in German, it's called Böses Gemüse. That means evil vegetables. So my idea was to say something like, if you want to enjoy the benefits of lectins without its disadvantages, you can use root products. And I also put this from the root, you text antifungal, antiviral, and so on. So that's it.
Awesome. So
Great
what's
defense.
a way that you are getting somebody to communicate with them? So are you talking to your community now, or are you posting?
I'm so new still, so I don't have a community yet.
Wow, and you did that and you're new. And by the way, everyone always has a community, right? You have friends, you have family, you have cousins, you have neighbors, you have your town, you have your coffee shop. So don't think too small. I'm actually very impressed. If you're new and you just put that together, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dr. Ann, you're next on my screen.
Okay. I did make a presentation because I think I thought I just want to make it simple. How can people talk to other people about the leptin patent, about the patents? And so I think everybody gets the question, yeah, but these products, they're so expensive. Can't I replace it by X, Y, Z because they have heard of other products? And then the fact that we have patents on our product is a very important factor that I can bring on the table. And I can explain them, why do I prescribe? Why do I want to work with the root brands as a company and with their products? Is because the quality of the product, because everything we do is trying to make the products as clean as possible. We clean out the toxins. All our ingredients are already from very pure sources, but then still, for example, if we talk about the lectins, it's a fact that it can be harmful for our intestines. It can cause a lower absorption of nutrients, but we thought about it and we have a patent in place in our products that is taking out the bad stuff and keeping the good stuff, or strengthening the good qualities of these particles, of these lectins in our products. So yes, there might be a price difference than with other products, but it's not the price, it's the quality. And if you compare what we give in these formulations, it's the best on the market, because there's a complete thinking behind it, a whole process of cleaning out the bad stuff, enhancing the good stuff, so you only get what works best for your body. And that's how I bring in the patents into my conversation with my patients.
So I want to first, I know that Nurse Christy and Sarah and now Dr. Ann is gone. You have literally just been given, and we just shared Dr. Fadwa, 4 different methods and 4 different ways in which 4 completely different individuals. You have you have a doctor, you have Nurse Christy, you have Dr. Fadwa, giving you different scenarios in which how they're going to share this patent. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. I love all of them. I think it's catering to your audience or who you're talking to. That's very important. I mean, look at how short and sweet Ann's was. Short and sweet. Look at how in depth Nurse Christie's was with imagery and the products and what they align with. She took the slide from the slide deck, went above and beyond to really give all of the information. And Sarah's was completely outside of what I even expected. It was like imagery of blending, like, images of working in a lab to create clean slate. So different methods to share with your community. And I think even if you don't have a community, even if you have 5 followers on social media or Instagram or Facebook, start there, right? Don't make yourself feel or assume that you are small, because somebody could be watching, somebody could be engaged, and all it takes is one person to say, hey, what was that you posted? I want to get some more information. Claire, how are you? It's good to see you. You gotta unmute yourself.
I'm doing great. I have a presentation. I'm not sure which one I can see the best, so I have 3 presentations.
Of course.
But I'm still going through eye stuff with the doctor, so my eyesight isn't 100% yet. So how do I go about sharing here? I think I sent you a message saying I have no clue.
You did, but I have faith that we're gonna figure it out.
Okay, how do I share?
Down at the bottom of your screen, it says share.
Okay, I have to get right down and read. Oh, I see. Okay. All righty. What am I sharing?
You can choose your main screen, and then whatever you're looking at is going to be what we'll be looking at.
Okay. All right, maybe we'll do the PowerPoint.
That's a stress I anticipated not to have.
Okay, can you see my screen?
We can, look at that. Lectin detoxification.
All right, well, I use, I don't use PowerPoint. I use LibreOffice Impress, which is free and cheap and better as far as I know. So I'm going to run the slideshow. So this is my title. Can I get rid of this thing down at the bottom here?
We can't see it, only you can.
Oh, okay. This is the title here. So if I just click on this, it'll move the next slide in. And the medical disclaimer, of course, anyone can read that. It's included because when I do a presentation, it's going to be included. So what are patents? I think I'm going to do a quick review of what patents are. Last week, multiple presentations on patents were conducted, and this is a brief review. Patents protect the intellectual property of companies to help their profitability. However, patents also serve as bragging rights, as we can do, for companies demonstrating their innovativeness. There are types of patents. There's the design patents, which would include cars and things that have a specific design. There's plant patents if somebody wants to invent a plant that can reproduce itself. And 90% of the patents actually are utility patents, and that's what the root products come under. So patent detoxifying lectins is a provisional patent, apparently. That's just the information that I have as of right now. All the information that I've gotten for this presentation came from slides from Root University. It came from NIH, to some degree PubMed, because some of their stuff is maybe a little sketchy. But I tried to go to sources that I trust and know, and that I know has accurate information. So in recent years, the subject of lectins has gained momentum among the health enthusiasts and researchers alike. Lectins is a type of protein found in many foods, particularly in legumes, grains, some vegetables, and have been studied for their potential health challenges. However, amidst concerns, Dr. Christina Ram, in researching the possibility of detoxifying lectins, this presentation will help explain the significance of detoxifying lectins and the emerging innovations in lectin detoxification. So to begin with, what are lectins? Lectins are carbohydrate binding proteins that can be found in a variety of foods, especially those that are plant-based. While they can play a role in plant defense mechanisms, and as we know, plants do defend themselves from being eaten or killed by either smelling terrible or tasting terrible or have spikes and other weird things on them so that people and animals won't eat them. So this is what lectin has. It has these anti-nutrient kinds of things in it so that people won't eat them, but we do anyway. In humans, they can cause problems. Some people can experience digestive issues as a result of consuming foods with lectins, leading to inflammation and some other health challenges. Common sources of lectins include kidney beans, especially if they're undercooked. I saw one report that somebody ate undercooked or barely cooked kidney beans and they were sick for like 2 days. So I guess that was the cause. Soybeans, more specifically, if not fermented, and peanuts, unlike other seeds and nuts, heating does not remove lectin. Lentils, chickpeas, and peas, cooking seems to reduce the lectin content, and whole grains such as whole wheat and nightshades, which includes tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, eggplant, and nicotine. Peppers are like the bell peppers. And how do lectins attach themselves to these carbohydrates? This is kind of scientific, so I think it's the only scientific thing I put in this thing. Glycobinding proteins are a category of proteins that bind specifically to certain sugar molecules. The glyca is the same prefix you see in the word glycation. So there's two ways. This would being the sugar molecule, and these being the lectins, like little pack people, and it describes what happens after a protein or fat binds with a sugar molecule. When it comes to human health, most of the interest focuses on the potential problems associated with lectins, especially for individuals with sensitive digestive systems. The health concerns linked to lectins have sparked research aimed at uncovering strategies to minimize that adverse effects while enhancing the nutritional benefits of lectin-rich foods. It seems that the conversation around lectins is often focused on their negative implications. The emerging concept of detoxifying lectins has opened up new avenues for discussion. Detoxifying lectins refer to the approaches or methods that we can neutralize or diminish potentially harmful effects of lectins without removing beneficial nutrients from food sources. Detoxifying lectins refers to the approaches or methods that can neutralize or diminish the potentially harmful effects without removing beneficial nutrients from food sources. Innovative techniques may involve cooking. High heat can often deactivate many types of lectins, making foods easier to digest. Fermentation, and that would apply, I would think, more likely to soybeans, because fermented soy is a lot healthier than just cooked soy. And sprouting, germinating seeds considerably lower their lectin content. The role of lectin patents as we begin to understand lectins, research and innovation lead to breakthroughs in detoxifying lectins. Dr. Christina Ram has filed a patent aimed at developing new methods and products focused on detoxifying the harmful effects associated with lectins. And this is a picture that I really like of Dr. Christina. She looks so happy. The patent may involve novel cooking techniques and processing methods of supplements designed to mitigate the adverse effects of lectins while enhancing the there's my speech impediment, bioavailability of nutrients. This can be particularly beneficial for people with specific health conditions or dietary restrictions that make traditional lectin-containing foods difficult to digest. Expert insight, Dr. Christina Ram. Dr. Christina Ram has been at the forefront of research pertaining to detoxifying lectins. Her work highlights the significance of not vilifying lectins entirely, but rather recognizing their potential risks and benefits. Dr. Ram's approach emphasizes that it's possible to enjoy a diet that includes lectin-containing foods while employing strategies to minimize their negative impacts. An individualized approach to nutrition, understanding that everyone's body reacts differently to different foods, and isn't that the truth? Thus, through education and awareness, individuals can make informed choices when it comes to incorporating or detoxifying lectin-rich foods in their diet. So the leptin detoxification patent details the lectin detoxifying invention introduces a great method for extraction and enhancement of lectins, crucial biomolecules recognized for their diverse biological activities. So that's little, I usually put footnotes in my presentations, but you can't see them very well. Through the employment of aqueous, which means water-based, magnetic two-step solution combined with fractionation techniques, which means fracking, like she does with the clinoptolite. This innovative approach not only facilitates the isolation, purification, and characterization of lectins derived from a variety of sources, including seeds, roots, bark, leaves, tubers, plants, fruits, vegetables, beans, and nuts and oils, but also focuses on the task of detoxifying the negative characteristics associated with these compounds. By carefully addressing the potential harmful effects, this method protects the nutritional benefits of lectins, such as 1, antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial properties, and 2, while simultaneously enhancing their beneficial roles, which include insecticidal action, analgesic effects, and human immunodeficiency virus activity, meaning as one of them, HIV, and anti-tumor, meaning possibly cancer capabilities. And I won't say that. The process not only safeguards the inherent positive attributes of lectins, but ensures that their health promoting qualities are preserved and possibly amplified, paving the way for new applications in nutrition and medicine. And this is a slide that I got from the Root U, and it's the detoxification method background of the invention. And I inserted that just for demonstration purposes. In conclusion, as we continue to explore nutrition and health, the information about lectins is far from black and white. While lectins can pose health challenges for many, advancements, understanding and technology can pave the way for effective detoxifying lectins. A patent aimed at detoxifying lectins illustrates a commitment to innovation, allowing us to love food with lectins while minimizing their risks. Optimizing our health while learning from experts like Dr. Christina Raum can provide vital insights into how we can incorporate these foods thoughtfully into our diets, finding the perfect balance between health, nutrition, and well-being. And I actually included a patent question and answer. I have a little program that does AI that gives you can put down as many questions as you want, and then it'll give you all the answers. I don't know. It seems to work quite well. So I'm not going to go over that. It's just included for other purposes. And thank you for viewing the lectin detoxification presentation. So I'm done. Oh, I just wanted to show you one other. I have this in a PDF if anybody wants it. So I can share that.
Awesome. That was great. Thanks for sharing that, Claire. So that was really, really good. I'm very impressed with each and every one of you. And I love that you're willing to share it with the rest of the community so that they can take it and repurpose the information and use it to their benefits. I think that is very honorable. So first off, thank you for everyone for sharing and for taking the time. I know that you guys worked super duper hard on that. And the patents, and I know Anne and Nurse Christy, you know, who have medical backgrounds will attest to this, are filled with so much information, and to water it down, or excuse me, not water it down, but drill down to like any particular aspect, you could probably create 75 presentations just based off of each paragraph that's included in the actual patent. And so I really want to press upon everyone is that there is no right or wrong way to share or to promote. Now, obviously, there are stipulations in certain countries in which where we need to be cautious. But that being said, and not to say that Dr. Ann's was less than Claire's or Nurse Christie's, but Dr. Ann's was very short and sweet. Hey, here's the patents. This is the information. This is what a lectin is. This is what we're going to do. These are the products that they're aligned with. Short and sweet. You have more questions? I'd love to get a call with you. Same thing with Nurse Christie, short and sweet. Same thing with Sarah's. Didn't really go too much into the science aspect. Where is Sarah? Sarah, are you still here? I see you, Sarah. Unmute yourself really quick.
I had to catch something.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully you caught it. How long have you been a Root customer for?
Since May.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank
Good
you.
job. That being said, I want to make sure that you guys are aware that you don't need to be an expert and have a medical background in order to talk about this. I am not a medical expert. I know that Dylan is not an expert, but we sit around individuals where we learn and understand to talk about these when we're at events and we're promoting the products. Now, I always refer, there's one product that I'm always like, Dylan, you got to talk to this person. It's Crush, because Dylan's a psycho about Crush and he knows everything about those from being a nutritionist, and a personal trainer. But my point of asking when Sarah started with us and how long she's been a customer is to help everyone understand that you don't need to be doing this for 3 years. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have a PhD or an MD or anything. All it is just starting a conversation to talk about what the company has done to create this moat around our business and our products to help you market and share them with the world.
Hey, Patrick, too. We don't have to be experts in this field because Dr. Ram herself is the expert. She has done the work.
Boom.
When there's a post that's been made about it, when there's a video, take our clips, repost. Don't ever feel like you're doing something wrong by reposting some of the Root brands or Dr. Ram's posted. It's for your use because we
Yes.
know that no one else is as smart as she is. I'm certainly not. So I use her information. When Patrick and I go to events, I don't just say things off the top of my head. I think about what Dr. Ram's done, and I use her information to benefit myself and people I'm talking to.
Yeah. And use those videos. I know that there's some really neat things on Instagram Reels where you can stitch. You can kind of do a, what's the other word that I'm looking for, Dylan? When you,
You can like overlay yourself. You can talk between the videos. Stitching is probably the most common one now, to where you can play a video, you can insert yourself into it, you can talk over it. You could dub over the video too. So if you don't want to show your face in the video, you can obviously show it, and you can dub your voice over the video so you can talk about it as well.
and you can do cool things in the beginning, like here's Dr. Ram, look at her talking about the patent, here's the video, and then come back in at the end and go, if you wanted more information, my link is in my bio, or DM me to find out more information. I'd love to send you a PDF about this. Boom. Hey, Claire, can I get your PDF? I got to send it to somebody. DM. Super easy. Nurse Christie, you raise your hand and then I'll get to you, Ann. And then I know that we got our timer here. He showed up late, but he's going to hold us accountable to an hour.
Okay, so I would suggest, because this is very complex, every patent is very complex. It is, because that's how amazing they are. I would suggest for the average person, because remember, your social media, you have 3 to 5 seconds to grab someone's attention. I would say something to the effect of, are your greens washed before they're packaged? And it's that simple. Does your coffee go through a detox, or, you can't use that in some places, but does your coffee go through a detox process before it's packaged? Where does your black seed oil get cleaned? How are the impurities removed from your black seed oil? And it's that simple, and you're using the patent to support what you're saying, because that's what that patent is doing. It's removing those impurities that are more harmful for us. And that's why I went through and kind of broke down the patent and made it a little bit more simple to understand. So I just want to encourage everybody, you don't have to do the full presentation on all of the steps of the patent to still use the patent.
Awesome.
That was it.
Great advice. Dr. Ann.
I'm going to be short, but I had the same idea. You don't have to be too theoretical and going into the depth of the patent. We have the patent and the other companies don't. And that's all people need to know. We don't ask what's the patent of a Brufen? How do they make an ibuprofen? We know it works and it's patented and it's
Right.
there. It's proven that it's worked, and this is proven. And if I have a rep from a company that comes with a lot of scientific in-depth how they made it, and sorry, does it work or doesn't it? And that's what I have you proven that it works? Yes, okay, then I can try it. Don't go too deep into science. It's important that somebody did. Dr. Christina did go deep. Yeah. And that's wonderful, and that's what we need. But she did the work, and we can say it's done and we have it. Thanks.
Yes. And you know what? If you make a mistake or you don't know the answer, I'm sorry, that's actually a really good question. I've never heard that before. Let me get back to you. Can I have your information so I can get back to you and I'll get you that information? So I like your question. Nobody's asked, but have you ever thought of this? When you're selling to somebody, you need to have an answer for every question, even if you don't know the answer. I'm going to get that. That's actually a really good question. Have you ever thought of this? I understand the question that you're asking, but have you ever thought about it in this way? So you always want to make sure that you're not making them feel like you're selling to them. You're answering what they're saying, and you're giving them a feedback to their question. That is the art of selling.
Going off what Patrick said, if you get their number or their email, then you can say, oh, there's a great video that Dr. Ram does on that. I can send that to you. And then you have their email and their phone number so that you can reach out anytime you want to reach out.
So these are all really, really good methods. And I'm going to talk with Dr. Ram. I think of course she's going to. We'll go ahead and we'll probably do a token or a wallet for you. I just want to confirm that Dr. Ram's okay with that. For Nurse Christy, Sarah, and Claire, and Dr. Fadwa for all doing a fabulous job presenting. I appreciate it. Claire, I see your hand raised. Sorry. You have anything?
Just a quick comment here. One person has requested the PDF that I did. If anybody else wants it, can I put the link to it so they can download it in the chat here, or would you rather I
Go
just
for it. Do it right now before we end the call.
Patrick, have you talked about any of the upcoming events?
I haven't. We went right into the work here.
And so I just want to remind ambassadors who are in these areas that these events are going on. It is a great way to either come yourself, or if you have people who are interested, maybe in somebody who's interested in being an ambassador or some customers. It's great to let them know, hey, these are going on if you want to learn more from Dr. Ram herself. And so for the US, I know I want to get this out there early because a lot of times people in the US say we don't do a ton of events, which we're trying to do better at, but I'll slow down. Dallas, Texas is happening October 9th. Is that right, Patrick?
Yeah, so we're at the His Glory Ranch on October 5th, and then I believe it's the 9th? No,
I think it's the 8th and 9th is a route specific event in the Dallas area. And so if you are in the US and you're in Texas or surrounding areas, that's a great event to travel to. Obviously we have Schweinfurt. Hopefully I said that right. Pigs Crossing, I think is what Birgit said. What's the date for that, Patrick?
Schweinfurt's the 21st and 22nd.
And then Kosovo.
We go to Dubai, which I know most of you aren't in Dubai, and then we go to Kosovo. So a lot of like Macedonia, North Macedonia, Slovenia. How did I forget Slovenia? Those are all the surrounding countries that we're making sure. And you know what? To Duquesne's point, if you're attending these events and you're wanting to promote it, you can work in social media and Facebook and create posts and boost them, basically promoting, hey, Dr. Ram's coming. If you have information or you have questions about this patent, come to this event. You can get your ticket here. Here's my link. You can boost those posts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the things. You can create an Eventbrite.
And so if you all have anybody who's interested in going to any of those events we mentioned, please reach out to Dylan, Patrick, me. We can give you more details. We will keep announcing when we do these events and try to give as much of a heads up as possible. So we gave about 2 months heads up for the Schweinfurt event. We're doing about a month and a half right now for Dallas. And so we're trying to be as early as possible so that if people need to make travel arrangements, they can. So see, now I was the one that made us go over time, Patrick. So I can never say anything ever again.
Shame on you.
Game.
Awesome, guys. I hope you had a
Alfred's making me
wonderful
laugh
day.
over there.
I hope you had a fabulous start to your week. These are just information-based education that you can use however you disseminate it. But I am going to implore each of you, reach out to somebody on the call, message them on WhatsApp, schedule a follow-up meeting. Hey, what was your takeaway on that call? What was your takeaway on that marketing call? Are you going to use any of those presentations? Did you download Claire's presentation? I loved slide number 5 on Claire's presentation. Why don't we put together and work on something that we can do? Do you want to get together and maybe have all your influencers or ambassadors or customers or anyone in your community attend a webinar? Maybe why don't we collab on a webinar? These are all ways in which that you can utilize promoting yourself and promoting the products. I appreciate everyone coming today. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you throughout the week. Bye, everybody.